Hello friends, I'm not a great fan of mnemonics creation because mnemonics can take you only a certain distance. They can help you learn by rote or learn by heart. But physiology being the conceptual subject, you need to understand the concepts behind the subject matter. Only then you become your subject becomes very strong. But sometimes the mnemonics can be helpful, and I present to you one such mnemonic in the context of hypocalcemia. Let's first understand the calcium function, and then we will quickly go to the manifestations of hypocalcemia with the help of a mnemonic. Normal plasma calcium in the range of 10 milligrams per cent, and the hormone that is mainly responsible for this regulation of calcium is the parathyroid hormone, apart from of course vitamin D. Now sometimes there is damage to the parathyroid glands resulting in hypoparathyroidism, and that would result in hypocalcemia. So the reason for hypocalcemia, the common reason being the hypoparathyroidism. Now let's understand why the manifestations of hypocalcemia appear in a certain manner. Look, normally the nerve has voltage gated sodium channels called as NAV, and sodium influx results in the excitation of the nerve. The sodium channels through which the sodium comes in, these channels have a certain gating behavior, and that gating behavior is normally functioning or stable because of the ECF calcium or plasma calcium. So if the plasma calcium decreases, now this part is important, if there is hypocalcemia, then the gating behavior of these sodium channels would get disturbed, and the sodium channels become unstable, and with even faint stimulus they remain activated, and sodium influx causes a continuous impulse propagation, impulse generation through the nerve. So we call it hyperexcitability of the nerve, and most of the manifestations of hypocalcemia are because of the hyperexcitability of the nerve resulting from unstable behavior of the sodium channels. Now that being said, let's see the manifestations with the help of our mnemonic. But before we proceed further, to see all these interesting facts, I have launched an app called as Physio Workout. So just go to the Play Store or App Store and download and start using this app. Now coming to the mnemonic. Well, the mnemonic is scant calcium. You know, scant means very low. Scanty or scant means very low. Here we are taking it as a low plasma calcium. Scant, low plasma calcium. Scant, S for spasms. You know, because of the hyperexcitable nerve and continuous signaling to the muscle goes into spasm. Then C, convulsions. Hyperexcitability of the nerves in the brain would result in convulsions. And another sign, that is Schwostake sign. You must have read it in the context of tetany. There are two signs, Trozus sign and Schwostake sign. What is Schwostake sign? It starts with C but it's pronounced as Schwostake sign. Tapping over the angle of the mandible, hyper-irritable facial nerve will cause a spasm of the facial muscles on one side. This is called as Schwostake sign. Then A is arrhythmias. So you see ECG changes that happen with hypocalcemia, particularly the changes in the QT interval. Then N, numbness. Numbness or tingling. This is also resulting from disturbed nerve functioning. So numbness, tingling, particularly of hands, feet and perioral area. Perioral numbness is classically seen in the hypocalcemia. And then T, that's tetany. You know, hypocalcemia results in tetany and manifestations of tetany. We have seen some of them. And Trozus sign. So T stands for tetany or Trozus sign. Carpopedal spasm. You apply the BP curve and raise the pressure in the BP curve. The hyper-irritable nerves in the arm will result in this carpopedal spasm of the muscles or carpopedal spasm called as Trozus sign. So that's the mnemonic for hypocalcemia, SCANT. It's a scanty calcium, low calcium. So you can remember it like this: scant, spasm, convulsions, arrhythmias, numbness, and Trousseau's sign.